Welcome to my World of Tanks tank reviews with Die Sturmgeschütz. Now today, we're going to be taking a look at the E-100. Now this tank is a true beast. It is very heavy tank. It is a German tier 10 heavy tank, which makes it feel special to me. Now, let's take a look at the stats, shall we? In the hull, it has 200 millimeters at the front. It has 120 millimeters at the sides. Plus, it's got to go through that spaced armor and the tracks. In the rear, it's got 150 millimeters. And it's got some sloping. Now, the turret has 250 millimeters at the front, 150 millimeters at the sides, and 150 millimeters at the rear. Now, this tank is a very heavy tank. It weighs up to 130 tons. It has a 1,200 horsepower engine, but it still gives it a measly 9.5 horsepower per ton. Now, its speed limit is 30 kilometers an hour, which is actually pretty generous for a tank this heavy. Now, its traverse speed is 20 degrees a second, which is pretty slow. Its turret traverses at even slower 16 degrees a second. Now, its gun is good and bad at the same time. As you can see, it has 3.69 rounds per minute, which is around about a 14-second reload. Its average penetration is very low with standard armor-piercing rounds of 235 millimeters. Now, with heat, high-explosive anti-tank, it has 334 millimeters of average penetration. But that is not really needed, because this gun, while it still may have a 0.4 accuracy, which is very bad, and a 2.9 second aiming time, I find I can still hit weak spots, surprisingly. And also, it does 640 average damage with armor-piercing rounds. Now, with high explosive, which is very useful for shooting at the backs of T-44s, T-62As, and T-54s, will do a full 960 average damage. Now, that's a large amount of damage. Now, let's go on to consumables, shall we? I have the multi-purpose restoration pack because it counts as a fire extinguisher, a medikit, and a repair kit. I also have the medikit and the repair kit, because I tend to get my gun knocked out, and my ammo rack, and or tracks. And it's always useful to have that multi-purpose restoration pack, because it is reusable per battle. Every 1 minute you can use it. Now, for equipment, I have the toolbox, the crew vents, and the gun rammer. The crew vents and the gun rammer mostly because I want to get the reload speed down, and the toolbox because I don't like sitting tracked, which means that my repair speed is very fast. Now, as you may have noticed, I have zero heat, zero premium ammunition loaded, and that's because, like I said earlier, this tank doesn't need it. While it does have a lousy penetration and a long reload time and a long aiming time, it's got the armor to sit and take the hits. Now, let's go into a battle, shall we? Now, here we are. We got Winter Malinovka. Now, this map isn't one of my favorite maps. It's actually one of my least favorite maps because it's just too small compared to the PC one. But it has some pretty good action. Now, I'm going to go to the top of the windmill with everybody, and let's see how that works out. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the gameplay. Now that match was pretty pathetic. In my opinion, I think I can do better than that. I did 2,000 damage. That's not good enough now, is it? Now that is just not acceptable. So, let's show you how to properly play the mighty E-100. Now this time I promise you, this will be a good match. Desert Sands, let's do this. Now that is more like it. 4,235 damage, 3 kills. That's more than double the next best. The next best was 2,100. Now that demonstrated the true E-100. Now this tank, in the hands of a proper driver, is very, very deadly. So beware of this German Tier 10 heavy tank. Hope to see you out there. Good luck, have fun.